Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. Welcome to the book launch event for Dr. Steve Hudgins. Today, we are not just celebrating his book launch event, but we are also celebrating his birthday. And in many ways, the birthing of Piece by Piece, my blended experience of a Mosaic family. I want to share with you that Dr. Hudgins has been working on this. I don't even want to say the word book. More than 3 years. Having his doctorate in behavioral science, being a licensed therapist, professor, a U.S. veteran, and a divorcee as a step-parent himself. Dr. Hudgins brings forth years of clinical research, years of experience counseling blended families, and his own experiences of being there. It isn't every day that we get a book that gives us the opportunity to change the future. And this book is going to allow us to redefine the term blended and celebrate it for what it is, a Mosaic family. Before I bring Dr. Hudgins on, I want to welcome everyone who is here and thank you very much for supporting him. I want to thank you by extension for supporting Guiding Brilliant Writers and myself. I'm going to take a couple minutes to read the back blurb on the cover of his book before I bring him up. I think it is so very necessary for people to understand when they choose to purchase a book, what it is that they are reading, understand their why for reading it. We live in a fast-paced world. Nobody wants to sit with a book anymore. Audio, yes, they may listen to that. But what happens in this space is that books like these, with a much, much deeper meaning, get buried. And I, for one, am not going to let that happen with this book. I am a divorcee. I am a stepmother. I have been divorced twice. And I am a proud piece of a Mosaic family. I give Dr. Hudgins so much credit beyond the publication of this book, because to have read the manuscript is a blessing to me and to those in my life that I love. It has given me a reframe and a starting point for what it is I'm trying to accomplish. Peace through the grounded pieces of love and respect through boundaries, and it is possible. So with that, I am going to bring Dr. Hudgins up right after I read this. You give me a couple of minutes of your time. I hope you can see the book. All right, there we go. Not broken, not blended, beautifully mosaiced. A mosaic declares that every shard matters. What if your brokenness was not a flaw to hide, but the beginning of something sacred? In this powerful blend of personal story, clinical insight, and spiritual depth, Dr. Steve Hudgins redefines what it means to be a family after divorce. He invites us to move beyond the term blended and embrace the idea of Mosaic families, families not by force, but by intentional grace. Through the lens of Mosaic family systems, theory, MFSD, Dr. Hudgins offers a redemptive roadmap for those navigating second marriages, step-parenting, trauma, and identity repair. Drawing from years of lived experience, research, and therapy practice, this book will guide you through the grief, beauty, and boundaries that come with piecing a family together. Whether you are a step-parent, an adult child of divorce, a therapist or pastor, or someone longing to rebuild after emotional loss, this book speaks to the sacred art of becoming whole again. See, we must first be whole pieces before we can form the whole of our families. I will also read this testimonial. Your book is sheer brilliance. You are an exceptional writer, and your vulnerability has me feeling like I'm reading secrets over your shoulder. I am deeply honored to read every single word. I know a lot about you from your writing. As well, much of it comes back to me after my 30-year marriage disintegrated. And this was written by editor Leslie Flowers. Leslie's a 30-year gold standard editor. She also was divorced, and she also read every single word of this 100,000 word book. If anybody can give credibility to a book like this, it is her. We also have from Annette King, you gave us a language for which we've been living. And I will leave it there because it certainly is a language for which we've been living. There is so much that is unseen. So much of what you see of a family walking in the park holding hands, remarried, blended. You see the happy smiling faces. You have no idea what's going on behind closed doors. How do we remove the stigma of looking at somebody that is remarried and going, and those are statistics? How do we remove that? We remove that by giving the best possible chance to people in second and third marriages to create a beautifully mosaiced family. So with that, I welcome to the stage Dr. Steve Hudgins.
Hi, Nick. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for today. They say you should never mix business with pleasure because it's my birthday. I'm launching this book. I'm turning a year older. So I thought, why not? If the book flops, at least I can blame it on a midlife crisis, right? It's a privilege, and thank you, Nick, for your support. And maybe this book is a reincarnation of me in some part, because when I do pass on, I leave a legacy behind for not only for my children, my grandchildren, but for those who are in families that want to find connectivity again. We need that connectivity with each other so much, Nick. And so thank you for this community and the community of supporters that I see in comments. Thank you so much for those who have bought the book, support me in this journey. We need to get a message out that families need to thrive, and it takes a community, which is also a family, that comes together. So thank you.
You are very welcome. And I'm going to share some of those comments because I'd like something understood. When you work with a publishing company, of course, I'm going to use mine as an example, you do have some credibility with the publishing company. But understand something. No matter what I share or how well I share it, if the book does not resonate with you, if you do not see value in what is being offered to you, you will not purchase and read this book. That is not the expectation when a book is brought forth. It is the expectation that the writer would be honored by you taking the time to read it and understand what message he's trying to share with you. Because we all share our stories for one reason and one reason only. We want to see other people be uplifted. We ourselves want to be uplifted. And how we do that is by being vulnerable about who we are. This is how we teach each other. We are not alone.
Right.
Somebody out there is facing it too. You are not abstract. You are a normal human being living a journey in a life that very, very many live. And there is no embarrassment in that. There is no, the strength in anything. It's being able to look in that mirror and truly see what's there and be able to own it, its flaws, its beauty, and then look for the help that you need. And beyond that, what makes us beautiful human beings is that we can in turn take what we've learned and help another, as Dr. Hudgins has done for me. So I have to, ask you. I'm just curious. First of all, do you have plans for your birthday? Yes, you do, because I am going to cut our stream a little bit short today, because it turns out that Dr. Hudgins does, in fact, have plans and certainly should be out there celebrating. So, what are you doing for your birthday?
It started at 5:30 this morning. I had a meeting with the chief of staff about supporting veterans, creating a new program that plants seeds throughout different cities that we can help veterans to thrive. So I'm operating in that side of the project. I held a beautiful podcast with my co-host Kenya this morning. Jump right into here. Got lunch later and a celebration later. I'm in awe that you wake up in the morning. Nick is texting me at 5:30 in the morning, which is 6:30 her time. No big deal, but it's great to hear a happy birthday, but also a #1 new release. I mean, I felt like I had to pinch myself in my dream here, Nick, but it's reality. So I don't know where I stand right now. If you want to care to share where this book is at, I would be happy to hear, because this is my birthday
Absolutely.
present opening.
Well, for starters, the QR code right behind me is where you can get the book. So go right on ahead and scan that QR code and go grab your copy. And as you read along in that book, I encourage you to return and leave a review. Reviews actually help people to decide whether or not they want to purchase the book. And it is a lot more important than people think that it is. This book will soon be available on Barnes and Noble as well. So it's not just staying where it is. Dr. Hudgins, is there anything that you'd like to share? Because there is something that I would like to surprise you with briefly.
I want to kind of read what I wrote here for part 3 so people can have an understanding. It's called
Absolutely.
Bonding the Mosaic. Wounded hands still create beauty. Each shard matters. Just as a mosaic's beauty emerges from the careful placement of imperfect shards, the foundation of our lives is constructed from our trials and tribulations. Though flawed, each experience contributes to more an extraordinary design, reminding us that strength and beauty are often found in fragments that seem disjointed at first glance. Just as no two pieces in a mosaic are identical, our journeys, marked by heartache and joy, create a rich mosaic that tells a unique story. And when I think about how these families, we become broken, sometimes over just semantics of words,
Yes.
we still carry the beauty within us, childhood hurts and wounds and all. It's, do we hold safe space for one another that we can collectively become a mosaic like Westminster Abbey? I mean, I love being there. I was there before the fire, and I just love the mosaic that it represents. And to me, we are shards of our lives or that are broken, but together, Nick, I mean, we're shards. We're coming together and look
Yeah.
at this beautiful community of mosaic of people we brought together today.
We're making history. We're all making history because it is always a necessity for involvement, evolving um, as things change. Nothing is
Sure.
static. So we have to move on beyond this term of blended, and we have to move into an understanding of what it is to be mosaic,
Mm-hmm.
because that is where we truly, each piece can come together and shine as one, right? And that is the beauty of a family unit. They are as strong as the members they stand beside, not above or below. So I do have a little something that I would like to run for you. There is just so many things going on in the comments. And I want to make sure that I am sharing everything with you. Though hopefully you can go back a little bit later and answer some of these. So I am going to start by sharing this with you. So just give me a moment.
Happy birthday, Steve. Congratulations on your book, and I'm sure it will be very successful. I keep on watching it climb as the momentum is growing. I wish you much success in this next year, and may you have many joys and blessings, and I look forward to reading your book. It should be arriving on Saturday. So, again, happiest birthdays to you.
Uh, she and I wrote in an anthology, and what a wonderful person. And I shared with her earlier that, education goes hand in hand with what we're doing.
That's right.
We've got to educate, and being able to come together with a spirit that we are able to hear one another's voices, not trying to prove who's right, not to say that we trump another person's ideas, but as a collective, we tear down the walls, use the material to build bridges and planks to put across the divides often. So I thank you for that. I wasn't expecting that.
Good. I'm very glad. So, as we are going to be keeping this to 30 minutes today, I am also going to run the promotional campaign that was done for this book by Guiding Brilliant Writers. There is a blessing that I receive every time I have an author that comes to work with me. I can't work with authors that I don't align with and whose message I don't back 110%. That is actually what allows me to be able to market a book the way that I do, because it is not just enough to say, oh, there's a new book on the market. There are specific hands that books need to get into based on what the book is about. And this is where I need your help. If you know someone out there who is in a second or third marriage, who is a step parent, who is a step sibling, because yes, there are grown step siblings still at war with each other. We need to bring that to an end, and we need to start the healing. So please enjoy this promotional campaign by Guiding Brilliant Writers.
Well, when you think about a secure attachment, right? The secure attachment, the child is feeling safe and confident because the biological or step relationships have this trusting love and care that remain consistent, even though there's change. The anxious attachment is what I'm familiar with and how I golden threaded it through my work in the book. The child clings or worries about losing a parent's attention, often fearing rejection in the new family structure. And for me, because I grew up in the military and growing up and other things that I'll talk about in the book, I reveal some of those things, what caused me to have this anxious. But then you have the avoidant. This is where the child distances emotionally, pulling away from both of them because the child wants to protect itself from, disappointment or loss.
Thanks, Nick.
Absolutely. And, thank you everyone for giving a few minutes to look at that. I really, really, really want to congratulate you because, this is overnight. Today is launch day. Okay. And when you launch a book, you really want to make sure that at the end of the day, you are hitting where this book matters most. Okay. And so right now, this is where you can help bring this book to a #1 bestseller. Right now, this book is ranking number 9. Okay. And I'm just going to pull that up in 1 second. Just give me 1 second. I have it right here. Okay. This is number 9 on the Amazon bestsellers list, paid. And yes, I do say paid because this isn't thrown up there for free. Hoping everybody would download it to drive ranking, because this is something that is done in the publishing company. And I want that made very clear, not just for the integrity of guiding brilliant writers, but for the authors that choose to write with us. This is number 9 on Amazon bestsellers list in step parenting and blended families. It is number 13 in family health. Number 15 in social science methodology. I always say that wrong. At the end of the day, the Mosaic Family Systems Theory is a new concept, but this is a concept that we make a tried and true process. And we can drop those numbers of 67% of second marriages ending in divorce. So Dr. Hudgins, again, congratulations to you, and huge thank you to every single one that is in the audience. And I see so many people coming in and joining, and thank you, thank you, thank you. So Leslie has already scanned the QR code, and so that is working like a charm. Please go ahead and buy your book. So we have just about, go ahead.
I was just going to say, when I look at my journey, I didn't expect to be here. Life took a twist, and it stemmed from the divorce from the kid's mom that got me interested in what I was doing for families, because family is not won by fighting louder. It's protected by speaking clearer. I'm here to be the voice of that family, the voice that refuses silence, but the voice that, to me, it reminds us love is worth protecting.
Yes.
And that's the goal of this book, is to protect families in love, and how to do it in a successful way so that we can reduce the divorce rate that's down. So Nick, I really appreciate the support. Leslie, I think you're biased, but I appreciate the editing that you did. I'm being tongue in cheek here with her, just because I know what she's done for 30 years, and I just that's a big shoe to fill for me. but I am honored, and thank you for those who have watched. Thank you for those who watched this clip and bought the book. I'm excited to hear because I am in another process to keep Nick and Leslie busy. I have just been granted access to Oklahoma University's research. So I will be reaching out to adult survivors of broken families who went through alienation. I want to be able to create another platform for the children's voice. When you have disruption of parental attachment, I think children need to be heard. And it's unfortunate that the legal system does more harm, transgenerational trauma to children when they are forced to do something they're not ready to make. Even a child of 18 has a choice to put someone in the White House. But how do we expect a 10, 11, 12-year-old to say, this is where I want to choose to live? They don't have the capacity to understand because their division of love is divided by two parents who are warring. And so that's my research to create a new term. Let's get rid of parental alienation syndrome. Let's take that off the adult. Let's put it back on the child and the disruptive of parental attachment. So hopefully by next year, Nick, after all my research, you and Leslie, by this time, hopefully we can get this launched as well to hear the voices of the children.
If this comes to fruition, I think that honestly, the gratitude would simply be for exactly that, the voice of the children, because I was in family court and my son was 7. So there is so much of the research that you're doing that speaks my life. And I thank you for that. So I have one last surprise for you, and then we are going to be closing this episode. I actually have quite a few more, but I couldn't fit them all on today.
Happy birthday, Dr. Steve. What an auspicious day it is today. Not only are you birthing piece by piece your new book, but it's also your birthday too. So double blessings for you. I'm so excited for the launch of your book and a brand new year, making a difference with Mosaic families. Have a beautiful day.
Thanks so much, Leslie, for that message. And thank you, Nick, for bringing it.
My absolute pleasure. I raise my cup to you. I am having coffee. It is before 12. No, it is not before 12. I lied. It's before 12 somewhere. But I don't drink anyway. But I will once again thank you. And I will once again thank everybody out there who's going to bring this book to where it needs to be. And let's do this together, because this is what it's about. It's about, in the end, being a mosaic world. Okay, so have a wonderful day, everyone, now. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.